It's rare in the world of fame and flashing lights to find someone who doesn't just perform for the crowd, but sees them. Jin, the eldest member of BTS, has always been known for his humor, his dazzling visuals, and his powerful vocals. But beyond the stage lights and viral fan cams, there's something deeper, a quiet, powerful connection between Jin and the fans who adore him. And this connection? It's made countless ARMYs cry. Not from heartbreak or disappointment, but from something even more profound, the overwhelming feeling of being truly seen, heard, and loved. During his recent solo tour across the US, fan accounts flooded social media, not just with footage of Jin's performances, but with raw, emotional testimonies. "I didn't expect to cry," one fan wrote after the Tampa concert. But the way he looked into the crowd and smiled like he knew us, it felt like he was saying, "I'm proud of you. You've made it this far." Another ARMY shared how Jin's speech about staying strong during hard times reminded her of her own silent struggles, and for the first time, she didn't feel alone. Jin doesn't just sing to a sea of fans, he connects with each one. And maybe that's why so many tears fall during his concerts. It's not about sadness, it's about release. It's about the quiet healing that happens when someone like Jin stands on a stage and tells you, in his own way, that you matter. His humor might make you laugh, but it's his warmth, subtle, genuine, unwavering, that leaves the biggest mark. He doesn't need grand gestures or overly dramatic speeches. A simple wave, a wink, or a heartfelt "I love you" is enough to melt walls fans didn't even know they had up. In a world full of noise, Jin chooses sincerity. And it's that sincerity that turns concerts into safe spaces and performances into moments fans remember for the rest of their lives. Oh yes, ARMYs cry when they see Jin. But not because they're broken. It's because, for once, they feel whole. Thanks to someone who has never met them, but still somehow loves them more than they ever imagined. It's easy to dismiss the emotional power of a concert as just the atmosphere or good production. But anyone who's attended a Jin BTS show knows better. What fans experience isn't just a performance, it's a shared moment of humanity. Jin doesn't put up walls between himself and ARMY. He tears them down with every song, every story, and every glance that says, "You're important to me." During the encore in Dallas, when Jin returned to the stage in a simple white shirt and soft lighting, there was a shift in the arena. The energy didn't spike, it softened. The crowd didn't erupt, they exhaled. And as he sang, "Epiphany," live, many fans reported looking around to see others crying silently, together. Not in sorrow, but in gratitude. One fan posted later, "It felt like church, but with healing instead of rules. Like he gave us permission to feel everything we had been holding in." What's remarkable about Jin's ability to move people is that it doesn't come from being overly sentimental or performative. He's still the same Jin who makes dad jokes mid-set, who clowns around with his crew, who pokes fun at his own worldwide handsome title. But beneath that humor is someone deeply aware of his influence and responsibility. He knows what fans go through. He's seen the letters, the posts, the eyes brimming with stories they can't say aloud. And instead of turning away, he steps into that emotional space with courage and grace. Perhaps the most touching moment was when Jin spoke directly to fans who had traveled far, who were attending alone, or who had waited years for this concert. "Even if it's your first time seeing me or your 10th, he said, "I hope tonight you feel like you belong." And that's exactly what makes Jin so irreplaceable. He doesn't just want to be admired. He wants his fans to feel seen. You can't manufacture that kind of emotional resonance. It's not scripted. It's not packaged. It's Jin, real, raw, and absolutely devastating in the most beautiful way. When fans cry at his shows, it's not a spectacle. It's a homecoming, a release. A moment when, just for a little while, someone on a stage made them feel like they weren't invisible, like they mattered, like they were loved. And isn't it the kind of magic we need more of? ChatGPT belong, and maybe, just maybe, that's what sets Jin apart in a world obsessed with perfection. He doesn't chase trends or perform vulnerability just for applause. He lives it. He breathes it. He is it. While others might curate their personas for the cameras, Jin remains achingly human, sometimes to the point where fans don't know whether to laugh or cry. Maybe both. Because that's what he does best. He holds both joy and pain in the same moment, and gives fans permission to do the same, long after the stage lights dim and the confetti is swept away. Jin's words echo. Not the loud ones, but the soft ones. The ones whispered between lyrics, tucked into eye contact, delivered through small gestures that scream louder than any pyrotechnic ever could. It's in these subtle moments that fans find themselves returning to long after the concert ends. Not because they miss the music, but because they miss him. The feeling he left behind. The rare kind of comfort that tells you, you're not alone in this world. Even in the vast digital universe, where connection is often shallow and fleeting, Jin's presence remains grounding. His Weverse posts, sprinkled with honesty and warmth, feel like letters from a friend rather than updates from a superstar. Whether he's sharing his day or offering encouragement during global hardships, he speaks like someone who understands, not someone who's untouchable. And that's the beauty of it. He could be unreachable. He chooses not to be in many ways. Jin isn't just an artist or an idol. He's a mirror, reflecting back to fans the worth they often forget they have. He doesn't need to fix their problems. He just reminds them they're not alone in having them. And sometimes, that's more powerful than any solution. When people wonder why BTS fans speak of Jin with such reverence, why they cry, why they feel healed, the answer isn't complicated. It's because Jin doesn't just entertain. He shows up. Fully, freely, fiercely, as himself. And that, in today's world, might just be the most radical kind of love there is. And perhaps that's why his absence is felt so deeply, even in the smallest gaps between content. When Jin isn't posting, or when the stage lights go dark after his final bow, fans don't just miss a celebrity. They miss the quiet comfort of being understood. They miss the gentle strength of someone who, without ever calling them by name, made them feel like they belonged in a world that often pushes people to the margins. There's something almost paradoxical about Jin's magic. He's a global superstar, yet he carries himself like your oldest friend. He walks into stadiums with tens of thousands screaming his name, yet still manages to make each fan feel like they're the only one he's looking at.
How?
Not with tricks or fan service, but with presence, with intentionality, with a rare kind of heart that doesn't demand attention, but earns it quietly. During his military hiatus, fans often return to old videos just to hear his laugh, his voice, or rewatch moments that once felt fleeting but now feel like lifelines. His impact doesn't fade with time, it deepens. In his absence, the traces he left behind become anchors, reminders that sincerity still exists in the world of flashing lights and curated images. That somewhere, someone like Jin once stood on a stage and meant every word he said. And for fans going through real-life struggles, heartbreaks, losses, mental battles they never voiced, Jin's presence becomes more than music. It becomes therapy, not because he promises answers, but because he offers solidarity. Through lyrics like, "I'm the one I should love," he dismantles self-doubt brick by brick, building in its place a soft kind of hope that maybe, just maybe, things can get better. Because when Jin says, "I love you," it's not a throwaway line. It's a declaration, a gift, a reminder that somewhere out there, someone you've never met still wishes good things for you, still believes you're worth the space you take up, still hopes you'll stay strong, stay soft, and stay you. And isn't that what we all need sometimes? Not grand fixes or viral moments, but a steady hand reaching out from the noise, saying, without judgment, without expectation, "I see you, and you matter." That's the gift Jin gives. And it's why, long after the music fades, the love never does.